Comrades, I can honestly say that 1 year ago I would never have imagined being speaking to you today, but I'm very thankful for this opportunity. And I'd like to start off by acknowledging the seriousness with which, in the short period of time, we've begun discussing prospects for left unity, the seriousness with which Socialist Alternative has taken this question. But I have a second acknowledgement, which I feel, in all fairness, I have to make, and that is to Facebook. Because none of this would have happened, at least at this time, if not for Facebook. And it came in September, I think, or August, when there was a post on George Hookera's, Comrade George Hookera's Facebook page, that he was joining Socialist Alternative. But more interestingly was the terms on which he was joining Socialist Alternative that made clear that there was a preparedness by the Socialist Alternative to unite with revolutionaries, which in the past perhaps they would have imagined an unbridgeable divide, political divide. That it was possible to put aside some of the historic divisions that have divided the left in this country, not to ignore them completely, but on the basis of adequate agreement on taking the revolutionary struggle forward. And the moment we saw that, the moment I saw that, I thought, okay, act on it. And early in September, our leadership of the Socialist Alliance wrote a letter to Socialist Alternative and said, let's meet. Let's have a discussion. Let's start a discussion to see whether there's a prospect for unity. And we got a very prompt reply saying, yes, let's meet. And we met in November, and in our first meeting, we agreed, Socialist Alliance agreed to endorse this Marxism and to participate in it. And we're very happy today to be here, to be with you in this very important discussion. In the Socialist Alliance, we have believed for some time that it is possible that there is enough programmatic agreement for all the organizations in this country who call themselves socialists. And there's a lot of other people who may once have called themselves socialists and now treat this like a dirty word. For all the organizations who today call themselves socialists, in theory, programmatically, they could work together in a single organization. Not to say that there would not be any differences on tactics, on how to operate, on particular assessments, but theoretically, if there was the democratic institutions within such an organization to work out what to do next, we could work together. That's what we believe in general. But we have learned through our own experience that there's one other element that is necessary, and that is the political will to do this. And that, I think, is what is being tested here in the Australian left today. We are seeing who has the political will to take this question of left unity seriously. And I'm very happy with the progress that we've made so far. And I want to outline some of the things with an incredible speed that we have managed to agree to do. Things that, honestly, we would not have imagined, not just a year ago, but not even 7 months ago. We have reached agreement, and I think I'm looking forward to this. In at least a couple of cities, and I think it will proceed in others, to march together in a common contingent on May Day. We are in the process of coming to agreement to have a series of public meetings discussing left unity in all the major cities of this country, and I'm looking forward to that as well. In addition to participating in this conference, comrades from Socialist Alternative will be participating in a very important seminar that we're organising, a national seminar in June this year in Sydney, with a key guest speaker who's Paul LeBlanc from the International Socialist Organisation, a person that I consider to be the most serious living scholar of Leninism and the Bolsheviks alive, today. And we're going to use this as an opportunity to have a serious, in-depth question about the party question, because this is probably one of the bigger programmatic questions that we know is on the agenda for our discussion. In addition to that, and I think this is probably the most serious agreement, it's an agreement to begin a discussion about what we agree on programmatically. Now, we had one discussion about this just a couple of weeks ago between the two leaderships, and the one thing we agreed is we're not just interested in writing some happy motherhood statement that we can all sign off on. If that's all we're interested in, we could just sit around on the table today and write it and we all vote for it. Now, we want a serious document that we can discuss. One that will not only plumb those areas of obvious agreement on the left, but also go through the areas where we have come to some difference. So this is a serious process to work through those differences. And the second thing we agree is that when, and we will come to points where we have differences, both of assessment and of previous practice, and perhaps tactical differences and maybe more, we will not just say, okay, bang, that's it, we're out the door. One side says, this concludes the discussion, you're exposed, you're the reformists or the Stalinists or whatever, and that's the end of the story. No, if we come to the point of having a difference, we agree to go deeper into the question, to examine it seriously, constructively, and try and work our way out. There will have to be change. We can't all say, we'll just be like before. Well, from our side, we are prepared to have that discussion, and we are prepared to change. We recognise for us to move forward, and for all the left to move forward in this country, we cannot carry on the way we have before. We all have a common legacy of some very bad sectarian practices. Nobody in the left in Australia or anywhere around the world can deny this. One of the things that we're very, very good at is having arguments. And to win an argument, one of the famous tricks is to caricature your opponent. Right? That's how you win the argument. The problem is when you start to believe your own caricatures of your opponents, you are going off into crazy land. You've got to understand what is really going on. And we have to separate the process of having an argument, winning an argument, and really working out what is going on. We have to resist. We have to resist the temptation to exaggerate differences. And we see, I think, in some discussions that we're having on the left today around the question of 457 visas for migrant workers, the temptation to do that. I think we can get through this, comrades, and I'm really looking forward to the hard work that we have set with this agenda. I think we will begin this process on a broader, more informal way during this conference, through informal discussions and collaborations, and some strong debates, hopefully. And, well, who knows what's going to happen next year at this time. I really look forward to it. So long live socialism, down with capitalism, long live left unity.